Good evening, everyone. Today we are having another session with Srinivasan sir, and this topic is about Iron Age in Tamil Nadu, recent excavations and photo stuff. So those who are first to my channel, those who are visiting my channel today, Srinivasan sir worked as a director for Saraswati Research Center. He is also president of the Ramasetu production movement in India. So I'm giving the panel to this Srinivasan sir. Sir, panel to you.
Namaskaram andi. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyaramam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavata Mesada. We have been.
Okay, sir. I will be in the backstage. If you need anything, call me.
Okay. We have been blessed by the presence of remarkable archaeologists and the dedication with which the work has been done shows that the Iron Age of Bharatam dates back to the 4th millennium before Common Era. This is an amazing discovery. All tribute to the group of archaeological teams who have made this discovery and so precisely documented with emphatic evidence and very detailed laboratory testings that have been done and documented. It radically alters our dateline for the metals age. Normally, the tradition has been to talk about Stone Age, then Copper Age, Bronze Age, and then Iron Age, and so on. But this traditional chronological sequencing seems to get upset when we find information about iron findings archaeologically. But we also find, surprisingly, that a number of inscriptions of the indusscript also contain references to iron. Different indicators of smelters, iron smelters, and so on. So when John Marshall made a comment about gold from Kolar gold fields found in the Saraswati civilization sites, or Indus Valley civilization sites, the same arguments can be applied to the presence of iron objects, though minuscule objects, in the Saraswati-Sindhu civilization area. They have been documented by Garkari Posal and Gullapalli Pravina, iron objects, very specifically. So the find of iron smelting in a number of sites in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh find a remarkable continuum which finds expression in the eminence achieved by Bharat in iron technology and even steel technology. Alexander came in search of steel, ukku. Ukku is a remarkable word, which is a typical Meluha guild speech. Same thing applies to the word loha. Loha is often referred to as copper or any metal. Lokhanda refers to iron or iron equipment. Uloham is a Tamil word. Then there are also other words for iron, like irumbu in Tamil, which has graphemes like hands, irumbu, signifying irumbu. So we'll have to revisit the induscript corpora and also the archaeological discoveries which enable us to redraw the chronology of the metal age of Bharatam. Iron Age begins in Tamil Nadu. Iron Age begins in Bharatam in 4th millennium before Common Era. In a number of sites like Mayiladurai, Mayiladumbarai, Adichanallur, Shivagalai in Tamil Nadu, and also in some sites in Hyderabad. I would submit that some of the graphemes of the induscript corpora, which are symbols signifying graphical words, which are normally dated from 3300 before Common Era, the script inscriptions, match with this finding of Shivagalai, Mayiladumbarai, Mayiladurai, Adichanallur of Tamil Nadu. The details are given in the documents. You can go through it leisurely. Next, please. The word for iron in the Santali language is medet. Med. Dul medet is cast iron. Med also becomes a word for metal or copper in the Slavic languages. Mrudu is the Sanskrit word. Medu. Mrudu. Soft. Iron is very soft. Iron based, very characteristic, is soft. So these are the details of the meta analytic presented to archaeologically establish the evidence of iron finds in these sites. Next, please. Shivagalai, Mailadampurai. Med iron is a very commonly occurring word in the induscript corpora. This med iron, Medu, Mrudu, in Tamil Nadu is dated to the 4th millennium before Common Era. Mailadampurai starts the Iron Age or evidences of the Iron Age. Iron artifacts excavated from Mailadampurai in Tamil Nadu have revealed that Tamils knew the usage of iron 4,200 years ago. Shivagalai iron artifacts are dated from about 3,400 before Common Era. So the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Honorable Chief Minister Stalin, made a very thoughtful pronouncement in a seminar in Chennai, conducted in the Egmore Museum, that the Indian historical tradition dates back to the Tamil Nadu's contribution as the initiator of the Iron Age in the country. This pride is very well warranted, and we'll see why it's so important, a find that has got to be cherished and analyzed further. Next, please. See, the med is a word which occurs in a number of graphemes. Surprisingly, even from Anatolia, old Assyrian trading colonies of Kultepe, the twisted string, the twist or the endless knot, the twisted knot, like the three strands of a rope that are twisted together. They are remarkable symbols on the stamp seal. Together with the pictorial motifs of an eagle or hawk. These evidences are dated to about 18th century before Common Era, and stamp seals first appeared in the northern Mesopotamia during the 6th millennium and used exclusively throughout the ancient Near East. In Anatolia, stamp seals predominated. It was only during the Old Assyrian period, between 2000 to 1700 before Common Era, that Anatolians used cylinder seals in the administrative practices. The round seal, carved from black steatite, has a horizontally ribbed handle topped with a perforated knob, similar to the stamp seal discovered in Kultepe. It was primarily used during the later part of the Old Assyrian period in Anatolia, 1830 to 1700 before Common Era. The carved image is of a crested heraldic eagle, with the head facing left, wings outstretched, and falcon talons gripping two quadrupeds in mirrored poses. The quadrupeds are mirrored. A guilloche pattern frames the bottom of the seal. Single and double-headed heraldic eagles are an ordinary popular motif in Anatolian stamp seals. We will also find a similar motif of the heraldic eagles in Karnataka and a number of places in Bharat of different dates. Next, please. The endless knot is a recurring feature. Surprisingly, in the context of the performance of yajna. Here is a copper plate inscription ascribed to Dhruva 2, which precedes the word Lekitam, cost to be written. Cost to be written, and in that writing, endless knot is shown, Medha, twist. Medha also means the attentive faculty, the consciousness, the effulgence of Chitta. Medha also refers to Yajna. Medha also refers to Dhanam, according to Nigantaka. But the endless knot is a very important symbol added on to the inscription, which is in Brahmi. Next, please. This Brahmi inscription, Lekita, was caused to be written. It was in the footnote, the write-up notes. After the signature and before the word Lekitam is engraved an ornamental design. What is that ornamental design? Mentioned in the Epigraphia Indica, volume 22, number 12 of Dhruva inscription, copper plate, endless knot. The knot, which has no end. It's a medha, twisted knot. Like the rope that is twisted to make it a rope. 3 strands put together. Almost like the plate of a woman knotted together. Three plates joined together become a rope. Medha, twisted rope, twisted knot. Next, please. So the study of the Dhruva 2 inscription, together with this endless knot motif, which is a writing system, Lekita. This is consistent with the traditional induscript cipher, which also uses endless knot motifs, even on copper plates, and also on a number of the inscriptions. So this hieroglyph or the grapheme of Beluga, induscript, continues to be used as a signature tune by the scribe of the royal inscription as in Dhruva 2 inscription, dated to Saka 806, historical period. Thousands of years have elapsed, but the tradition continues because the symbols are very important. Bharatiya civilization is a civilization of symbols, which adopts these symbols. The symbols are very meaningful knowledge systems. It appears that in Saka 806, the word Medha, which signified a yagna, also signified the scribe's endeavor to document the royal thought, opinion in writing. Hence, use of the hieroglyph endless knot as the signature tune of the inscription. Medha, retentive faculty of the mind. Medha. The Marathi saying in Nana is Medha tami ye jani. Next, please. Rameshwaram. So now let us look at the trading account of the induscript, which is a signature tune of the civilization. The same 342, the rim of the jar, rim, karana. It also means karana, trade account, trade. Karana accounting system in Tamil. Karana, trade in Oriya. So the trade glossary of the induscript corpora can be referred to as a kosha, the karana kosha. The sign 342 is so important because it signifies an accounting system, it signifies trade, it signifies a scribe, a karanam, an accountant, keeps track of the transactions. This becomes the most frequent symbol in the entire corpora, carrying more than 10% of the signs. In Tamil, it is referred to as iduguri, just a symbol that signifies. When a paddy was entrusted to private individuals, a mark was given to be stored up in their houses. முற்காலத்தில் நெல்லை சேமித்து வைக்கும்படியாக ஒருவரிடம் ஒப்புவிக்கும் பத்திரம். So it's a document. It's a documentation of an agreement between the donor of the grains and the recipient. You'll keep it in their houses. This is a kuri. It's a symbol. That's not. You can see such symbols appearing on the induscript. Some examples have been given. Next, please. Now, look at the importance of this symbol 342. This finds a remarkable reference in one of the old Sangam texts of Tamil called Tolgapiyam Puradigaram 145. I'll read it out. Poyyum Vazhuvum Tolriya Pinnar Ayyar Yatana Karanam Yenba. Karanam. Here in this, the translation of this Tolgapiyam Puradigaram is, when lies and inaccuracies began to appear in maritime trade, scholars composed, tightened an accounting system called Karanam. Karanam is an accounting system according to the Tolgapiyam Puradigaram. So the rim of the jar 342 signifies a trade Karanam, accounting system for trade transactions. Okay. So it's so important. So that the tradition of our country, in all languages of the country, reported Karanam as an accountant. Kulakarani, Marathi word. Kula is a group of people, Janapadas, writer is called Kulakarani. So this word Karanam becomes a very Karani Kudu in Telugu, Karanigan in Tamil, and so on. In all languages, Karanam. So important, so significant. It is the signature tune of the civilization script, indusscript, side 342. So I suggest that this rim of a jar signifies Karanam, an accounting system related to the work of artificers, seafaring merchants of the civilization. Why are seafaring merchants? Will come in detail as we go through some of the inscriptions. Next, please. Now, take a look at this seal, Sanhodaro seal, which shows a person standing upright, a horned person, a person of some importance, like a warrior. And below the unicorn also is shown a person standing upright with spread legs. Karanam is a trade account. As you have seen, sign 342. And the ear of the animal is very significantly highlighted. Karana is ear. Karanam is important. Karana, rim of a jar. Karani, supercargo, scribe. Karana, trade, dispatch. Messenger, account. Accounting, accountant, scribe. Kana, wealth, goods. Now, a stone axe found in Mayiladurai, Tamil Nadu, with induscript graphy noted by Airavata Mahadevan, in a very brilliant article of 1999 in the Journal of Institute of Asian Studies, says there is a stunning sequence of symbols which are emanative, indicative of the induscript. Sign 342 and sign 48. 48 is a Kana, sprain, Kana, wealth, goods, possessions. Karana, Karana, Kanka. Kanka, Karanika, rim of a jar. Karana, trade, dispatch, messenger. Karana, accounting system. So the Mayiladurai iron stone axe indicated that he was a person who was creating wealth, goods, possessions. And he was an accountant, he was a scribe, he was a writer. He was also a worker in an artificer. Was creating wealth goods, which are in great demand all over the country. So there's a possibility that this iron trade was also linked with the Sarasvati-Sindhu civilization. It also is possible that there was a maritime trade along the Tamarapandi, which is a perennial river, and also along the Indian Ocean rim, through Chera kingdom, through Chera country of Kerala, and up to Gulf of Kambat to Gujarat. So there is a definite indicated possibility of a maritime trade transactions having occurred between Tamil Nadu and Sarasvati-Sindhu civilization. Next, please. Now, the warrior. Look at the seal M444. Bata is a warrior. What is the civil sounding word? Bata, furnace. Bata, iron. And it can also be a Mandari, a village headman. Mandari is a furnace. Mandari is a furnace in Rajasthan. We have seen references to that. So, sign 342, Karana, Kanka, Karanika, Rimapajar. Civil sounding word, Karani, supercargo scribe. Karana, trade, dispatch, messenger, accounting, accountant. Kana, wealth, goods, are signified by these two signs of this seal M444. So what is the documentation that's taking place here? A trade accounting documentation by the furnace producer, furnace worker, Mandari, working with butter furnace. And how is furnace indicated? By the grapheme warrior indicator with horned warrior, important warrior. Next, please. So now we are fusing the induscript with the finds of the archaeology. So there is a fusion that's taking place, and the continuum that can be remarkably seen in a number of inscriptions. M1647, M1591, M1237, Lothal 227, Harappa 1357 AB, and Daimabad 1. Daimabad just shows the rim of a jar. What is he? He's a trade accounting. He's a trader. He's a maritime trader. Same thing applies to H1357A. Just shows the rim of a jar, and on top there is one horizontal line. We don't know what it means. Could be in a workshop if it's looked upon as a linear stroke. Same thing applies to the CLM 1647. The rim of a jar is circumscribed by two horizontal strokes. Horizontal stroke is Koda, 1. Similar sounding word is called workshop. The two of them is Dula, 2. Dul means metal casting. Metal casting workshop is indicated by the two linear strokes circumscribing this rim of a jar. So look at the semiotics. The symbol narratives interpreted to signify a metal casting workshop and the trade account. So metal castings are traded in account state. That explains the documentation of the induscript. It's an astonishing example of how the writing system evolved in very simple visual language. The picture itself tells the story, narrates the story. Next, please. Again, we'll repeat that. Reference to Tolkapiam, which explains the significance of Karanam word, not merely as a trade or a dispatch, but as an accounting system. A system that was designated to control transactions, to document transactions, to enable the avoidance of any misdealings or errors in expression by the traders or the artificers. So, Puyum Madum Tondriya Pinnar. So, the explanation given by the Tolkapian is that when lies and inaccuracies began to appear in maritime trade transactions, this Karanam was invented. Okay. Next, please. Now again, rim of a jar. Now accompanying with the unicorn symbol and another sign, a remarkable sign of which looks like a ingot and with a notch. The notch is a Konda. Civil sounding word is Kanda is a notch. Civil sounding word is Kanda, equipment, tools. Kanda is edge of a tool. So the tools, equipment, and ingots. Account. So what the text script read as ingots, equipment, account. Ingots, equipment, trade. And who is the trader? The maritime treasure guard. Is signified by the unicorn and the standard divisor in front. So the reading of the sign of Harappa 1126, which stylized the one ingot, which is a lozenge shape, into this shape. It can be called Kanach. Similar sound is Kanchu, bell metal. So bell metal trade. Bell metal trade, ingots, equipment trade. In the M150 transaction, which is based on Jangat, combination of parts, Jangada invoiced on approval basis. Next, please. Now, let us go into the importance of the unicorn and the standard device. It's an amazing documentation. And it shows a pot with overflowing water. Is there a word that presents in Meluha which can explain this? Lo means overflow in Santali. Kanda means a pot. Lo, Kanda. Together, Lo Kanda means metal equipment, metalware. Can you believe this? Lo Kanda in Marathi means metal implements, metalware. This is the centerpiece of the entire plectron, which might have been held in a old enclosure. And possibly there might have been also some red paint shown on the parts of the unicorn that are highlighted. The pannier or the double sack on the shoulder of the unicorn highlighted. The belly of the unicorn is highlighted. The thigh of the unicorn is highlighted. And the neck is highlighted. And there is a one horn and highlighted with the ear. Every one of these words can be read in Meluha expressions. Tanka is a thigh. Tanka is a mint. Kantala is a double bag. Kantala is a maritime. Kantala is a boat. So, boat is carrying some goods contained in the Kantala, double bag. Pata is a bed. Peta is a belly. Pada, patade. Patada in Telugu means metals manufacturing. Then mukha is that of a boat. Lake mukha, boat face, necha mukha means copper. So it's a copper signified by the unicorn's face. Kar is a ear in Rigveda. Kar means a blacksmith, similar sounding. Then forward thrusting horn is called singin. Forward thrusting spiny horn in Santali. Similar sounding word is singi in Sanskritam means ornament gold. Konda is a young bull. Similar sounding word is Konda, circular hamlet. Moja, like the circular platforms that are seen in Harappa. Number of them, like a street of circular platforms. It's a Moja, it's a village. A manchi, a cargo boat, the raised platform. Cargo boat. Then on some seals we also see a Vartakaya duck, referring to Vartakaya merchant. Now let us look at the standard division in front of the unicorn. It's a combination of two parts. Sangada, it's a combination of parts. Sangada is the body formed of two or more parts. Similar sounding word is Jangadiyo in Gujarati, which means a military guard who accompanies treasure into the treasury. Similar sounding word in Malayalam is Changadam. Changadam is a Nayar guide, guard, convoy, responsible for guiding through foreign territories. Similar sounding words are Sangata, Jangada, Jangala. Maritime double canoe is Jangad in Portuguese. Cargo boat, catamaran. Jangad also means a remarkable accounting system in India, recognized in law and jurisprudence, called invoice on approval basis. Kammatamu is a portable gold furnace. See, the bottom portion of it looks like a portable furnace. Kammatamu in Telugu means a portable gold furnace. Similar sounding word is Kammata, mint, coiner. Now we can see Kantala, which refers to the double sack, it also means a churning vessel, as seen on this standard device. So two uses for the word Kantala. One is a sack, another is a churning vessel. The reverse similar sounding word is Kantal, maritime, boat. The combination can be referred to as a lathe. The top portion is a lathe. Kunda is a lathe. Kundana is fine gold. The spiny horn is supposed to sing in ornament gold. Kundan is fine gold. So he is a worker in both fine gold and ornament gold. This is the significance of this unicorn. Unicorn is a messenger. Unicorn with the standard device is a maritime messenger, maritime treasure god. What is he carrying? Importantly, Lokhanda, metal implements, metalware. That is the transaction. Recorded by this Konda, young bull, Konda, circular hamlet, as we can see in the circular platforms of Harappa. See, look at the way we are able to find remarkable archaeological evidences which seem to match the verbal traditions, the vocabulary traditions of the Deshi Bhasha, the Indian Sprach Bund, speech union, which occurred in that area of Sarasvati civilization, the Tamaraparni, Mailadurai, Chivagalai, Mailadambarai, and other sites. The beauty of the induscript stunningly demonstrated with this. Next, please. Now, let's look at among signs. Unfortunately, we have not found a complete seal of the type found in Saraswati Valley. In course of time, we will find it. But here are the signs that have been brilliantly documented by the archaeologists who did the work in this site of Keladi. The number of induscript graphemes have been compared to the graffiti marks. I have taken it from Vagesh Antony, the tables that have been prepared. And I also documented it in the academia.monograph, the Kennedy graffiti, which seemed to indicate that the tradition of the symbols that were used in the writing system had their presence in Mailadurai stone cell we have seen, and also in the Kennedy symbols found in graffiti marks. So we cannot ignore these symbols. In some cases, we also found sequential symbols which constitute an expression. So these graffiti marks are very important indicators of a writing system that was evolving over a period of time across the areas of Bharat, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and also in Gujarat, as we have seen, in Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Daimobad, and so on. Next, please. Now let us get back to the induscript. We are dealing with iron furnace. Wealth goods created from the furnace, treated as a maritime cargo and invoiced on a junket basis because of the Unicode and standard device. So let us look at H952. A pincer is shown, a double pincer. Karo is a pincer. Kar is a blacksmith. And a tile is tagged onto it, or a koda. One is tagged to it. Code workshop. So Dula is two, Dul metal casting blacksmith workshop. Is indicated by this composite sign. And of course the standard sign 342, trade accounting, scribe. It also should be shown in Kalibangan 17. Same thing is shown on Harappa 37. Harappa 952. It has got on the other side some more additional indicators. 4 linear strokes. Ganda 4. Remember sounding words? Ganda, implements. The sign 328, rimless jar, rimless pot, bata iron. Similar sounding bata furnace, iron furnace. So iron furnace equipment is indicated by H952B. 952A shows same thing, equipment of the blacksmith. With a tail attached to the pincer sign. The 3 is a typical sign which indicates koli, a tail. Similar sounding word is kol, working in iron. So iron work of the blacksmith is indicated in this. Is it clear? So the Konda engraver, the Konda young bull from the circular hamlet village, working with ornament gold, also producing these metal articles which are treated as maritime cargo for trade. A beautiful reconstruction that's possible, matching archaeology, the linguistic genre, and the writing system, which is a graphically based, logographic, semiotic writing system. Semiotic means interpretation of symbols. We are now interpreting the symbols one by one. Next, please. Again, let us see. Iron furnace, wealth goods. Look at the seal H1513. Again, Karo pincers, 1512, similar on the back. 1512, 1513. Karo pincers, similar sounding word, car, blacksmith. Sign 328, Bata, rimless part, similar sounding word, Bata iron, Bata furnace. That was principle. Sign 342, we have seen again and again, trade, dispatch, messenger, account, accounting system, accountant, scribe, kana, wealth goods. So we know the wealth goods getting assembled as a cargo, as a manifest. So these symbols seem to represent some kind of a manifest or a trade accounting. It's not an unreasonable extension of the form and function of the writing system. Next, please. Again, another seal from Lothal. Take a look at it. Karo, pincer, similar sounding word, homonym, car, blacksmith. Sign 342, Karana, Kanka. Karani, supercargo, scribe. Responsible for the cargo entrusted to him. Karana, trade, dispatch, messenger, account, accounting. Kana, wealth goods. So the Lothal seal also seems to have those tile attached. Koli, tile, kol, work with iron. So now, see how important the Tamil Nadu finds are. Archaeologically, we have now proved that the induscript writing system significantly referring to iron work of kol. Or kol is a iron smelter in Santali. Kol hai, a group of people. Sometimes they are also about the Azores. So iron workers, iron finds, we seem to find a match. And the medium is induscript. Next, please. Okay, let's take a look at deeper into the occurrence of similar signs. In this three-sided seal, two-sided seal, H745, A and B. The rimless part is shown together with the rim part, rim chart, but with an inlaid reference of 3 strokes. The 3 strokes refer to column. Column is a smithy forge. So it's a smithy forge account, trade account. The rimless part is a iron furnace. Bata, iron, bata furnace, iron furnace. Iron furnace and smithy forge account, smithy forge trade. The details are further explained in the manifest of H745A. We can go through the readings. Ayo, fish. The fish is enclosed with a circumscript or fins. Kambata is a fish fin. Similar sounding is Kamata, mint, coiner, coinage. We got a cover symbol that is very clearly shown. Musa is a cover in Kui language. We can refer to Musa as a crucible, or Muha ingot, or Muha quantity of metal produced at one time in native smelting furnace. It can also be referred to Adaran as a Litt, or Aturu, a native unsmelted metal. It will appear as though that there is a reference to an iron furnace or a crucible being worked on by the goldsmith, and who also works with the rimless part. He is an accountant and accounting system. So in these inscriptions, we are able to put together a semiotic explanation of the symbols, which are very core of the writing system. Symbolic visual language. Kambata, fish fin. Fins are very clearly shown. We cannot ignore the orthography and treat everything as a fish. No. More than a meena fish, it's aya fish. Aya is alloy metal. Kambata, fish fin. Kambata, mint. Alloy metal, mint. Next, please. Now, this sequence of inscription recorded in the H120A occurs together with a tree, a fenced tree. Kuti is a tree. Kuti is a smelting furnace. Vritti is the hedge. Vritti is a profession. Melting furnace profession. 720A shows Goti, one symbol. Rounded stone pebble. Similar sounding word is goti, laterite ore. Or it can be a goti, a lump of silver. And the three indicators on the ingot shape lozenge is Ganda 4. Similar sounding is Kanda implements, which means Kanda, jag, indentation, ligature to the ingot shape. So ingots and implements. Then again, the famous sign 328, Bata, rimless part, Bata iron, Bata furnace. Sign 342, Karana, Kanka, Karanika, rim of a jar, similar sounding, Karani supercargo, Karana trade, dispatch, messenger, account, accounting, accountant, scribe. Kana, wealth, goods. So now see the pattern that's emerging of the purpose and function of the function and features of the writing system, the shape of the writing system, shape of thought that's conveyed through this visual language. Next, please. One more example where the word Karana, sign 342, rim of a jar, occurs together with an X sign. X. What is X? On the Kalibangan, also Mohenjo-daro seals, Dhatu is a cross. Dhatu, cross. Dhatu, Telugu, cross. Similar sounding word, Dhatu, mineral. Dhatna is sending out, pour out, casting metal. Dhatna. So cast metal. Cast mineral. So minerals are fused, smelted, and cast into molds. The concordance of the Indo-Aryan languages, C-dial, compared to dictionary of all Aryan languages, called C-dial, compared to dictionary of Indo-Aryan languages. Same interpreter we have seen, accounting, accountant, scribe. Young bull is shown on the Mohenjo-daro seal together with these signs, these two signs. He said Kunda is engraver, Kundana is fine gold. We have seen the Singi is ornament gold. So forward the ornament gold, fine gold marker. And this throat is highlighted. Melka throat, Melaka company. Ornament gold, fine gold company, copper company. So some kind of a union, a guild seems to be operating. So the unicorn symbol seems to signify a guild of artificers from that circular platform village, circular hamlet moja. The double canoe is shown by the standard device. Sangada, double canoe, Sangada giant part. Two parts are joined, the turner part and the Kamatamu portable furnace joined together. And Jangada also refers to an invoicing system. Some trading is taking place. Trade. Sign 342 trade. Karana. Next, please. Then another seal, H1514. Then here a mushti. The U sign, the rim of a part, is tagged on with two symbols, which look like a fish. Fished arm. Mushti is a fish. Surprisingly, Mustika means a goldsmith in Sanskrit. Look at this. A goldsmith is indicated by a modified rim of a pot. He may be working with a crucible. He may be working with a crucible portable furnace, but he's a mushti, he's a goldsmith. And trade account. So a person who started life as a trade goldsmith now started working with different metals that he discovered and gave them names and explained the processes and documented it. An astonishing documentation of the mushti. And this mushti again also appears in Lothal as two hands put together like a toy to demonstrate to the youngsters, to the children, how the goldsmith work proceeds. Goldsmith's work, Mustika. Beautiful. How elegantly the artificers who spoke the Indian Spragbund, the language union, Desi Bhasha, were able to put together a documentation system of such extraordinary simplicity, at the same time sophistication, of semiotic interpretation of symbols. Next, please. Mustika. Look at this toy that has been found in Lothal. Clearly showing the Mustika, the Mushti, the fist, the two fists. Two fists. Mustika is a fist. Mustika is a goldsmith. And why two of them? Dula is two. Similar sounding dul means metal casting. Mukha also means blowing with a fist. Mukha is a ingot. Mukha is the face. We'll see the word mukha also in some other inscriptions. Muha, ingot, muha, furnace produce. So the orthography of sign 458 is derived from these two fists, together with the sign of 7 small strokes and also a hillock. Every one of those birds can be explained. Every one of those graphics can be explained. Karana is also a posture of the artisan. Karana is a dance pose. Karana is trade. So the 4 and 3, 4 is Ganda, 4 is Ganda equipment, Kolom is 3, Kolimi is Smiti. So equipment Smithy and 4th, where equipment is made by the goldsmith. And Danga is a mountain. Dangar is a smith. In Nepali language, Jangro means a blacksmith. Compared to dictionary of Indo-Aryan languages. Dangar. Takura. Takkar. Thakur. Takkara. Craftsmetal worker. Tangra. Next, please. Mint is a ram. Ram's horns are shown on a construction of a bovine, possibly a bison or a bull, in front of a feeding trough. So in Markor is signified. Mint is a ram, Minda is a Markor. Similar sounding words are med, iron, in whole language. Medet, iron in Munda and Ho. Medo is a merchant. So iron merchant. Mustika we have seen on the copper plate together with this animal in front of a feeding trough. What is a feeding trough? Patar. Patar is a goldsmith guild. Patra. A minister, an important person. Patar goldsmith guild. Patar trough. Feeding trough. Markor is ligature to the body of a bull. So mint, ram, Mindor Markor. So sounding word, Medet, iron, med. Then if it's a bull, it is Marad, ox. Ox is ligature with the horns of a Markor or Mindal. Balad. Similar sounding word is Barat, mixed alloy of copper, zinc and tin in Punjabi and Marathi. So this is how the symbolic system of showing a mountain, which is Dangar, and the bull, which is a Bharat, signify the professional competence of the artisans, who are also traders, made of merchant. Next, please. So the language evolves in emerges from each of these symbols, which can be read as graphemes of the spoken lingua franca of the civilization. The Desi Bhasha, recorded in a number of Prakrit lexicons, Yamachandra Deshi Namamala, and other language dictionaries. 25 language dictionaries have been compiled together into an Indian lexicon, organized semantically in clusters. The flora and fauna can be identified by these words from the Indian languages, the Meluha language, Meluha components. Now we can see that clearly the copper plate, the hill can be a dangar or it can be a metta. In Telugu, med, medu. In Tamil, eminence, little hillock, medet. Then there is a division sign. Kanda is division, Kanda implements. Pushti, fished, Pushtika, goldsmith. And same famous sign, 342, Kanaka, Karanika, Karani, supercargo, scribe, accounting. So now we can see why the copper plate has been made in two parts, part A, part B. In the B11 category of copper plates, there are about 200 plus copper plates. This is only one sample, one category, which occurs a number of times in the corpora. Text of B11 has been explained as metalwork related to iron and marketed, traded. Next, please. Now let's go into the details again. Look at the number of examples that have been given here of these inscriptions. Copper plates. They are writing on copper because they are working with copper. They had that as a material resource which could document a work of great importance, of incredible value in trade. They were able to create the wealth of the guild, wealth of the nation. So this process of trade transactions and accounting that is taking place through this writing system get well recorded by this Karnika. Karnika also refers to a steersman, according to Monier Williams, Sanskritam. Rimbabajar can also signify a Karnika. Or a plan, stand manning with spread legs can also be a Karnika. Atharva Veda Karnika means dual, spread legs, two spread legs. Whenever the word signifier of two occurs, dula, we can straight away say it refers to dul, metal casting. Mukha is the fist, muhya is an ingot, dul muhya is ingot, metal casting ingot. So, line 358, copper plates, inscription containing this particular sign. All the examples of the copper plate inscriptions, which include this sign 358, have been detailed and explained in the Epigraphia Indica hypertext, which constitute the earliest monographs of the country. So now we can see the Mailadurai, Mailadambarai, Shivagalai finds of iron can be fused into the knowledge that we have gained from the accounting system documented in induscript corpora. That's the beauty of the and importance of the great discovery that has been announced with great pride by the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Next, please. Metal ingots and equipment, trader account. So where are they kept? In that conical jar, or which there is a bazaar in Manjadara. On the jar is an inscription. M1999, together with the rim of a jar in Spain, there is a 4 sprouts emerging from a field, a watery field. That is the signifier. What does it signify? Ganta is 4 sprouts emerging in a watery field. Kodu is a sprout. Kodu means a bar of metal. Kodu is a bar of metal which is used as an ingot, as brilliantly established by Paul Yule in metallurgical study of Indian artifacts. Kanda is 4 sprouts, Kanda. Kanda is 4, Kanda is equipment. So equipment and ingots. Bar of metal ingot and equipment. Bar of metal ingot is Kodu, equipment is Kanda. Kodu and Kanda are indicated by this expression which includes the word Karana. Karana, Karnika, rim of a jar. So bar of metal ingots and equipment trade account is signified by this inscription on the pot. And also has got 3 lines. Column is 3. Column is Smithy Forge. Smithy Forge is the place where this bar of metal is used as an ingot and forged into equipment or metal there. That's a signifier why this is traded through this conical jar in that conical bazaar of Mohanjadar. Next, please. Now, the ringstones seem to be assembled together into a kind of a pillar. That seems to be signified as a sign on the indusscript. Med is a post. Just as I've seen, meda twist is a post, twist is a twist. In endless knot also means med, iron, medet. Med post also means yagna, dhanam, med, plate or a twist. It's a metaphor indicating iron work, med, copper work, in Slavic languages. Or meda, which is dhanam, or it could be meadow or merchant. Where are they kept? In a koti. Look at the sign, 244. The graphical representation seems like similar to what we have found in Mohenjo-daro and in Harappa. It's a storeroom. It's a warehouse. It can also be a factory. It can be a code, a place where the artisans work. So it could be a warehouse. Warehouse, trade account. Signified by these two symbols. On M463, 461, M452, M1409, so on. Wealth goods are getting documented. Wealth goods from the warehouse are getting documented. The pillar is an indicator of wealth. Indicator of iron metal. Next, please. Another variant of the sign 342 or sign 242. Together with the field symbol of the unicorn and the standard device, which we have seen refers to a maritime treasure guard carrying cargo and a double cannon. The product is from this temple, sign 242. Kolel is a temple. Kolel also means a smithy and a forge in Kota language. Kolel temple, Kolel smithy forge. Similar sounding word, homonym. Clear representation of rebel principle in operation. So from the temple, trade account being carried by this maritime treasure guard. Handed to him. He is responsible for this cargo. What a beauty. Look at the way the temple is constructed. We got divided parts. And each part, each component also is independently identified as a sign, signify a mint. So it could be a mint, it can also be a smithy and a forge joined together. Next, please. The importance of the metalwork is signified by this ficus leaf. What's the ficus leaf? Loha is a ficus leaf in Santali. Loha, similar sounding words, loha. Lokhanda, loha. Loha, copper or metal. And you can see in the sign so clearly, focusing on the rim. Just rim now emerging out of the on the seal. So the Loha, leaf of ficus, Lomerata, and the sign 342, rim of a jar, Karana, accounting system, trade, messenger. Loha messenger, Loha trade, Loha accounting. Next, please. Now, the small little strokes, which are also numbers, they are also read specifically, not as numeral counts, but as number words. 2 is a number word, Dula. 3 is a number word, Kolom. Kolimi, smithy, forge. Dula, Dul, metal casting, and so on. So there's also a curved line too. Could be an indicator of some kind of a kamari, a declivity that's taking place. Or it could be a flow. Kanda is a flow of water. Could be equipment. Variant interpretations are possible. Again, typically, the face of the human being is fused with an animal, with the horns of a marker, Mendel. So iron marker, mukha, face, muha, furnace produce, and the scarf, dhatu, scarf, dhato, scarf, dhatu, mineral ore. So cargo, mineral ore, and iron work being carried by this unicorn, which has been changed into the face of a human being with marker horns. So there is changing of the symbolic components or semiotic. Interpretation of symbols are very important. Each component symbol has got to be interpreted as iron, furnace produce, copper, mineral being carried by the tetrahedron. It also has equipment. Kanda flow, Kanda equipment. Next, please. Now, look at this declivity. See a slash stroke is a slope. Kamari is a slope. Kamari is backing up a blacksmith. The notch. Notch is a Kanda. Similar sounding word is Kanda equipment. Equipment working up blacksmith. Breka goat, Melako, copper. Dhala can also be let a slant. Shield is the famous word, or it can be dhalako, a large ingot. The notch is Kanda. Similar sounding word is Kanda implements. Thus, ingots implements. Same thing, similar, the field symbol on M1856 is a unicorn with a tail, kuli tail, kol working in iron, and these symbols which you have seen before. So the symbols, seals of the text script are fused with the information of the field symbol. It's also a fusion of parts. The horns look like a flow of water. Flow, condom, or flow of water. Kanda equipment of copper equipment. Koli, iron equipment, and cargo of the copper gold company. Unicorn. Next, please. Now, this symbol is so important that is enshrined, engraved into a bangle which is worn by the artisan. Here is an example of a bangle which has got inscribed in painted inscription of a crab sign, the claws of a crab, dato, which is civil sounding word is dhatu, mineral ore trading, mineral ore accounting, and in front of it, the famous sign of a pot, plant, kolmo, the rice plant, Santali, kolmi smithy forge, with horror thrusting horns. Supercargo wealth accounting. So copper smithy forge, mineral ore wealth goods from this smelter are signified on P4, Balakot 6 and Kalibangan 158. He is a professional smelter who creates these goods, who forges these goods. Traded. Next, please. H452 is a steel trade account because the bird is shown, the famous word Poladu, Barakrango. Poladu is steel, Polada, Poladi of steel, Marathi, Bolad, steel, flint, steel, Russian, Slavic. So steel trade account. Amazing that at this date and time, they were already experimenting with creation of a hard iron called steel. By infusion of carbon into iron, it becomes steel. So this trade accounting has turned into the steel accounting, steel trade. Amazing evidence. It's got to be matched in course of time with proper evidence of steel having been traded and delivered to a number of receiving trade parts of the civilization neighboring zones. Poladu, Black Drango, Poladu, steel. Next, please. Then same twist. The flight which you started with, the Indus knot, which you saw, now shown with a, not only with the unicorn standard device, but with a composite animal. Composite animal is got like a trunk. Actually, it's a trunk infused with a scraper. Karnika. Karnika is a scraper or trowel. Karnika, as we have seen, is a scribe, is a steersman. Karnika. So, Medha, wealth account. Karnika, maritime steersman, carrying the cargo junket in front of the unicorn junket device. So, wealth state cargo account, maritime cargo of junket invoiced on approval basis is M324. You can also have alternative reading of the strands of rope. Dhatu is a strand, Dhatu is mineral, metal ore. Meda is a twist. Dhawad can also be smelter. Dhatu, Dhawad. Nana Karnika, Honda Young Bull, Malaka Company, Guild Company, Ornament Gold, Fine Gold Company, or embedding jewels, gems into fine gold. Kundana is the embedding of gemstones. Mleka, Telugu goat, Milaku, Mlecha copper. Sankara double cano, the combined parts, joint parts of the lathe and the portable furnace. Kammatamu, Telugu, Kammata, mint. Or it can be Kantala, container, joining container, Kanta, maritime boat. Next, please. Okay, look at the beauty of this twisted symbol. Run through a thread. So clearly, three strands are being shown together with a drummer and somebody doing acrobat. Karana is acrobat. Dorpi Karanam. Karanam, accounting. Karanam, trade. Mandari is a drummer. Mandari is a furnace. Furnace, produce, trade. Karana. And Medha, twist. Medha is wealth. Wealth accounting. Negantuka is clearly explains. Medha means Dana. Negantuka, counted by Taksha. Means Dhanam, wealth. Meadow, merchant. So the artificers and merchants are producing wealth, are dealing with wealth articles. The alternate reading for the tumbling can also be Dolu, a drummer in Western Pahadi. Dolsu means a tumble. They can be read also as Dul, cast metal. But it's a very stretch, but it's more likely it signifies Karna, tumbling. Double drum can also be referred to as a Kannada hard alloy. A hard alloy is getting created in this process of metal casting. Dul. Next, please. So now we are giving voice to the ancient artificers, ancient tea-bearing merchants of the who spoke the Deshi Bhasha, lingua franca, Venuka of the civilization. So the seal M1775. Again, maritime cargo. Now look at this. A parenthesis, which is a split, one in God, used as a parenthesis with 7 strokes. Very clearly counted. Iya is 7. Yakku is steel. Telugu. Yakku comes from Iya 7. And there enclosed a parenthesis in gods. There is a crucible ingot is being made. Steel ingot has been made. Crucible steel has been made into a bun-shaped ingot. Bun ingot. And worked on in the Kolimi Smithy Forge. Kolom. 3. 4 plus 3 or 7. You can read it as 4 plus 3 or 7 here. Next, please. Now, the famous spoked wheel sign. This looks like a lozenge, like a bun ingot with spokes. It can be read as spoke Lara. We can read as Sark. Water's wheel. Arka, copper gold. So, copper gold worker. Two of them, Dul, metal casting, copper gold metal casting, and Karana accounting, invoice on approval basis, because unicorn plus the standard device are shown. Maritime because the Kantala, maritime boat is Kantala. Now we can see the continuity of the expression system of Meluhua language, the Sprague Bund, lingua franca, finding mention in these inscriptions. Which are graphemes, logographic, semiotic. Next, please. H668 again shows the ingot, Muha, quantity of metal produced and accounted for. So, very clear identification of the bun-shaped ingot. It can also be a crucible steel, but at this point in time, we read it as it is. It may refer to a crucible steel. Because the crucible bun ingot exactly looks like this. Steel ingot, crucible steel looks like this. Next, please. Now we find a fantastic sign. This is a hoof, but not of a bovine. It is the hoof of a equine, a horse hoof. Horse hoof is called Vartaka in Sanskrit. Vartaka means a merchant. Almost all languages of our country. Horse hoof, sign 341. And trade. Account. Horse hoof account. So merchant account. Merchant accounting carried on a maritime trade cargo. Isn't it beautiful? How the writer, the engraver, is able to find precise expressions using logographs, creating graphemes from the language with which he is familiar, which we have drawn from the lexicons of 25 plus languages of our country, because they are all united, working together. Lingua franca, Sprague Bund, Indian, see all the lexicographers, including the Dravidian lexicographers, ended up saying that India was a Sprague Bund, which means a language union. Of people speaking from different language families are working together, absorbing features from one another and making them their own. That is the definition of a Sprague Bund or a lingua franca or speech union or linguistic area. That's the definition in linguistics. Next, please. Again, more symbols. Now we have got the ingot shape inserted with the inscripted with the rice plant. What is the rice plant? Kolom rice plant. Kolimi Smithy Forge, ingot. Ingots being worked on the Smithy Forge. So Smithy Forge ingot. Or ingots produced in Smithy Forge. Karana accounting. Look at the number of expressions, number of inscriptions where this sequence occurs. You can repeat same readings again and again and again, but with combinations of different sign sequences. In this case, sign 387 is sequenced with sign 342, Rimavijam. And of course, again, the neck of the animal is again highlighted. Unicorn. Melaka is throat. Melaka is a company. It's a company. Guild. It's a copper, gold, goldsmith company. Ornament goldsmith, fine goldsmith company. Coppersmith Company. Coppersmith Company. Next, please. Look at the number of inscriptions, which again and again repeat the sequences, and also shows an animal which dotted circle, dot and circle. What is a dot and circle? Kana is a drop. Kana is an atom. Kana is wealth. Kani, wealth. Kana, wealth. Kana, wealth. Pota, Poti is also a daughter animal. Poti is an animal. Pota is metal casting. Telugu, Potaraju. Pota means metal casting, Podi. And look at the slanted stroke. Kamari, slanted stroke, or Dhalako. Kamari, working for blacksmith. Workshop. Blacksmith workshop. Working for blacksmith. Or working of origin gods, Dhalako. In the famous sign of the rice plant, together with the sign 342 on M1669. Now we can read them. Next, please. Dot and circle, we have seen, can be another interpretation is possible. Pota vritti, vritti is like a circumference. Pota is a dot, poured in. Pota is a bead. Pota vritti, or can be kana, wealth. Pota vritti, producing wealth. Dhatu Vadamu. Rasayanam. Rasavadamu emerges from this. So the initial knowledge system of the alchemy and Rasavada can be seen in these documentations of the induscript inscriptions, and we can match it with the archaeometallurgical history. So now we are merging disciplines together. Next, please. Look at the number of signs which are from this famous sign of the rhombus. Kanchu, Kanach, corner. Kanchu, bell metal. Or can be root harrow, doubled up. Mind is a root harrow in Marathi. Med is iron. Meadow merchant. Tula is two, metal casting. So thus cast iron is indicated by these two arrows joined together into a new sign. And fused with the tail, pulley, working in iron. Pulley short tail, coal working in iron, coal here smelter, cast iron smelter. We can reconstruct the expressions, the Bronze Age expressions, as they are evolving, as the editing system evolves. We have seen a number of inscriptions so far, all related to this one category of wealth creating activity, the guilds. Next, please. Trade account, wealth goods, marriage. Look at the number of inscriptions. M301, 391, H2368. Go through each of them. M1819, K104, H696, M1195. The field symbol is often the unicorn plus standard device, which we have seen, relates to maritime trade guild, maritime trade of trade cargo from the Malacca company, and the spinal cord, spine. Kana is prime, Kana is wealth. The wealth trade, wealth goods trade. And as we have seen, Karnika, the trowel, a scraper, as the trunk of this composite animal. It can also be seen on a pot, the spine. with sign 342. So sign 342 plus the spine symbol can be read together as wealth trade, wealth roots trade, wealth roots possessions trade. In all these inscriptions. Next, please. Then now we find a remarkable new symbol. Look like an ant. Looks like an ant. Irumbu. Ant. Irumbu. Iron. Could be. Or it could be a spider. The word for spider is makoda. Similar sounding word is markata. Prakutam is called kolia, weaver, spider. Similar sounding word is kol, working in iron. Kol here. Next, please. Now we are the famous sign 51, which is a stylized representation of the palm squirrel. Palm squirrel is Shrestinkar. Shrestinkar is a guild master. Shrestinkar is a squirrel. Shrestinkar is a guild master. Sign 51 is a guild master. Sign 342, trade account. Trade account of the guild master. Is a guild master of blacksmiths. Next, please. Mint furnace, metal casting, wealth goods. H1919. Now we have got the sign 307. Kamadum is a brow in Gujarati. Kamadum is a chip of bamboo. Srinivasan word is a kamata. The mint trade account. Mint trade account. 342 trade account. Sign 307 mint. Kamata. Kamata trade account. On the other side of the 1919 looks like a rimless potty stone. It means an iron furnace or metal casting furnace is also used in the production of these trade goods. Next, please. First of metal castings, wealth goods trade, H1905. Look at the large sign shaped like a bun and got, muha, bun and got, furnace produce. Tool metal casting, karana. Could, as I again mentioned, it could also be signify steel, crucible steel. So here, the two crucible steel signifiers are bracketed by two signs as a circumscript. They can also be read as dul, metal casting. Next, please. Crucible furnace workshop. The lid of a jar is Musa. Musa is a crucible. Muha is in God. So I would suggest that this lid sign, like a circumscript, signifies a steel ingot. On top of a horned tiger, kul tiger, kul he, jackal. Kolhe smelter. The horns are like that of a jabu. Pola, magnetite ore. Poladu, drag dango, steel. Pola, magnetite ore. Signified by the jabu horns. So worker iron, now working with iron, cast iron or steel. Next, please. We can expand further into again circumscript of these two linear strokes, which are workshop of metal casting. Together something like a seal, like a mudra, signifying some kind of a workshop of a company, metal casting workshop. So sign 258 seems to signify some kind of a seal ring, mudra, a seal, mudraka. So he's the maker of seals. It's quite possible that some of these seals were also making trade cargo, which could have been exchanged with the people working in neighboring civilization areas. Mudra ring. Next, please. Now, the curve. Curve is a very remarkable symbol related to Kutila. Kuti is a curve. Kutila, Katil means bronze. So bronze work is signified by these two curves, metal castings of bronze. And there are also tiles tagged on with the two strokes. Can be koli, kol. Smelting, working in iron. So combination of metals alloying might be taking place. And circumscript of 4, Kanda equipment. So equipment made of bronze. Bronze is composed of 8 parts of copper and 2 parts of tin. Next, please. Look at the number of inscriptions we have surveyed so far. Again, one more, which is shown on the knob of the seal itself. The rhombus sign, Kanchu, Kanach corner, Kanchu bell metal, and accounting, trade account from the warehouse. Very clear that even a fish is shown with the fins, Kambata, fish, fin, similar sounding word Kamata, meant coiner, Breka goat, and so on. So, copper goldsmith company working with a cargo boat, double cannon, carrying this material as cargo. Invoiced on approval basis, general. Next, please. Here is a person standing with spread legs, carrying this sign, the body, code workshop, that slanted stroke, Kamari, declivity, Kamari working of blacksmith. So blacksmith working. Of with spread legs, Karnaka. Karnaka can be a steersman or a helmsman. Or it could be a Karnika, Karani or supercargo. A trader dispatcher. Karana. Next, please. Now another variant of the sign of column is sign 169. It's a sprout. Could be bar of metal. So bar of metal, trade account. Sanadaro 87, C87. Next, please. Now,
Sir, presentation is completed.
let us summarize the entire situation. We have all dealt with metalwork of extraordinary complexity, extraordinary competence, working in a variety of metals, copper, gold, bronze, brass, even iron, even steel, and carried through for double cargoes, and trade accounting, invoicing. So, because we sophisticated the Kalyanaraman accounting system. So, the Kalyanaraman accounting system mentioned in Tolgapyam Puruladigaram as created by the scholars to control the trade transactions gets recorded in this string of inscriptions we have seen, which seem to corroborate the brilliant finds of Mailadurai, Mailadampurai, and Shivagalai. Shivagalai, Kala, equipment, devices, Kala. So the Shivagalai is name itself carries such incredible significance. Kala, Kalavati. See, the knowledge system is so respected, so revered across time. We respect these Vishwakarmas, these artisans and artificers, and these seafaring merchants who created the wealth of the nation. You will see on the grand Jagannatha Mandiram, the Navagunjaras, the composite animals, 8 of them, surrounding a spoked wheel made of brass. proclaim to the world the metallurgical competence achieved by our artisans and traders. That is the beauty of the indusscript. Namaskaram.
Thank you very much, sir. We will meet in another session on next week.
Namaskaram.